Hello everyone, welcome to the latest episode of Trader Talks. I want to discuss crypto, a quick update looking at the charts to discuss whether we can continue to push higher, and we'll take a look at some of these crypto assets as well. If you're on the podcast and you want to follow along, the link is in the bio. We will start by doing a quick update on why things have been pushing higher, and I'd be keen to hear all of your opinions as well. The presentation is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as investment advice, personal recommendation, or an offer of or solicitation to buy or sell any financial instruments. So, crypto market cap, new all-time high. Bitcoin and XRP have recently hit new all-time highs as well. XRP literally doing that earlier today and yesterday. First time since 2017. Ethereum is closing in on its high, certainly from this year, and not too far away from its all-time high as well. There's been positive crypto legislation updates. The acts have been passed, the bills have been passed, and 401ks are getting exposure to crypto now as well. These are positive signs, and it's very much a risk-on market condition at the moment. You think of US equities, they're near all-time highs as well, closing at highs on each on a few days over the last couple of weeks as well. And there's been positive ETF flows into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's get into the charts then. And for Bitcoin, which is down a little bit on the day, I think it's worth having on this chart, this trend line that I'm going to have from 2017 high to the high that we had back in 2021. You can see it kind of matches up to the peak of this week. It's by no means a perfect trend line, but I think it's worth having on just to get a feel for the market, a bit of a sentiment test. You know, above that to close the week, okay, now we're sort of ready to go. Below that, I wouldn't be too surprised to see it struggle next week and maybe just dip a little bit lower. Those previous all-time high sort of resistance levels, which you can see were tested multiple times. One test, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks it tried to get above there. 107s. That would be the sort of area where I'd say even if we did come back down to retest that, I'd be okay with still being bullish on things. And you notice when we do push up, break new all-time highs, we have seen many times where it does then come back down to retest. So don't be too alarmed if that happens, is what I would say. An interesting chart as well is the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. And you can see over the last few sort of weeks and days, it's really started to push higher. And actually, we're at a very interesting level and area now. If I just put this onto the weekly chart, the weekly time frame, and go back to February 2021, I mean, just have a look at this. You can see the importance of where we're trading now. So we're above it. That's a positive for sure. If Ethereum wants to continue higher and Bitcoin maybe has a little bit of a dip, you know, this is, you know, going to be pushing to the upside as well. So keep a watch on that, because there is a fair bit of room for this to go should it continue to push higher. And that will for sure suit Ethereum, which was about 15% off its high of the year. I think maybe a little bit more. Let's just have a quick look just to see where we are trading. Yeah, 12% away from the high of the year, and then 33% away from its high that we had in 2021. Remember, I talked about the Ethereum Bitcoin chart in 2021 from February time. Look at that. Big push to the upside. So can we see something similar? Obviously, with this chart, for sentiment to continue to the upside, you know, it'd have to have a very bad weekend. But as long as it's above 3,000, I think it has that. And to be completely honest, even if it did something like that, I wouldn't be completely against it. Sentiment is definitely positive for Ethereum at the moment. Just bear in mind the last 2 times, 3 times, 4 times on the weekly time frame that we've got to 4,000. And you can even argue back to 2021 times we have sold off. So how many people out there are going to say, look, I don't want to risk that happening again. I'm going to take a bit of profit too. So that might lead to a move to the downside. For those that are waiting for more confirmation, that comes, of course, with a weekly close above those levels, and then you can maybe look to get that push to the upside. But all for now looks pretty good, you have to say. XRP, then our next one to discuss, and that's a market that, if I just drag this into picture here, you can see on that weekly time frame, printed a fresh new all-time high. And this is what can happen at these levels. People who have been waiting for that level time and time again have taken profit. Hence why it's struggling to get back above there. Just keep an eye on those previous sort of highs that we had earlier this year in January. They might well be of interest to some people who are looking to see where we close the week. If XRP is to close below, say, 330, you'd have to say that it's not a win for the bulls. Obviously, long term, it's had a very nice push to the upside. But below there, I think from a technical point of view, you'd be a little bit worried. So ideally, you'd want to see price finish the week above 331 for that level to hold and continue. If it does finish below, where are other areas where people might consider an opportunity to sort of buy the dip? And I would suggest 299 bang on free is a pretty key level. We had strong support turned into resistance in March, and then recently, as close to July, you can just see how well it held there as well. Solana, I've been talking about this a lot on the Daily Voice podcast, how it's feeling like it's got a moment to sort of go and break, and the level I was on about, if I just drag this into picture, was here at 167. Support, resistance, breaks up, comes down, bosh. That's exactly what you want to see. The next level, I mean, what a technically sound looking chart here. It's incredible how well it's respecting crypto in general, but how well it's respecting these levels. So there as well. Ideally, you see Solana finish above 185, but the fact it's above 167 will still fill people with confidence, even for a move like that to the upside. What would worry, I think, Solana holders is if at any point we're trading on a close of a day or week below 167. But for now, you have to say it looks pretty good at the moment. So I think for the most part, people will be pretty happy. The next chart to have a look at, we'll have a look at Cardano. ADA, the code up 4 and a bit percent today, 27% on the week, and you can see a little bit more messy maybe than others, but the fact we're sort of trying to push back above this 0.7 free level is pretty important. When I drop this down to a daily chart as well, you can see just where it's trying to close the week above, and that would be a pretty big win. If it can get above 0.87, I think that would be exactly what a lot of people would want to see. However, when you sort of drag this trend line in, and again, it's not perfect, but just keep an eye on that just to see how it holds. One test, two tests. Are we going to get the third there? And then you chuck in the next resistance level, which is where we're trading, and you see just how important a zone that is. So actually looking at the crypto market at the moment, it's great. It's had a big push. Just don't be too surprised to see a little bit of a pullback is kind of what I'm saying here. And Solana, that would maybe, I mean, for Cardano, that would maybe then come into, people looking to get in at sort of 0.76 for that next leg to the upside, something like that. Not saying those pullbacks do happen, but just be careful. Wait for confirmation. Weekly closes can save you a lot. Last thing you want to be doing is buying right at the top of these markets and just seeing them, pull back. Doge, which is having a bit of a day, 28% up from the week, 14% today. We'll have a look at the chart here, and it's going right into another key zone. And again, keep an eye on where this closes this week. Look at that support, turns to resistance. Okay, let's see what happens then as well. It's basically been in a range, you could argue, since when it broke down in the 27th of Jan. The lows here at 0.14 held so well. Just keep a watch on that. Really, that's a classic sort of range play, isn't it? Either breaks to the upside, we push the downside, or it comes back lower to retest for the move to the upside, or it goes lower, and then you get that break there. The crypto market at the moment seems positive, so you'd favor a move to the upside, but waiting for that break would be advisable. That's it for today. I hope you found that useful. Please let me know what you're seeing. Are you agreeing? Are you disagreeing? Do you think there's better opportunities elsewhere? I'll see you on the next episode of Trader Talks.